Hi there, welcome to day 2865 of What Shift to Now. This place where I document my journey. I came online in actually 2017. I following my divorce, had decided, okay, I am old enough to retire, but I'm not really done yet. There's so much more I want to do and learn, and more I want to contribute to make the world a better place. Hopefully, right? I don't want to make the world a worse place. So I hopped online and started to learn and get sucked down all the different rabbit holes that we can be pulled down or attracted to whenever we do anything in the digital or online space. I don't know about you. I'm sure there are people that come on straight line to the success they want. I have not been one of them, right? I followed so many rabbit holes for at least that first year I was online, and I had a health challenge. So it really wasn't until 2018 that I said, time to get a little focused. Let's figure out what we're doing and actually try and do and create some things in the online space. Well, today, one of the things I created back then to get me comfortable with doing video was an annual challenge. I cannot remember. I know I've got my books down here. I'm not going to dig them out because it will cause an avalanche of each of the challenges that I've done. This is year 8 of doing an annual challenge. That first year, I was actually involved in 3 annual challenges. I had my own, then I was involved in another person's in the ClickFunnels organization who wanted to get comfortable on video. It's the person in the inner circle that wanted to get comfortable on video, just like the rest of us that joined it. I think about 100 of us started that, and only 6 or 7 of us actually completed the year. One gentleman came in a couple months after we had started it, caught up all the videos for all the days, and completed it by the end of the year. And that is a man with a vision. And had made a decision that he was going to figure out video just like the rest of us, even though he started later than we did. Guess what? He beat out 93 other people that quit along the way, right? So today, what we're doing for part of the challenge, and the reason I share that whole story is because in my challenges, I do a few things now every year. It's taken me years to figure out how and what works best for me and the people I'm here to serve. And one of the things that I now share, I think I probably shared it in the beginning, but not in as formal a way as this awesome graphic represents. But I keep using it because it reminds me that we don't have to be polished and perfect and edited in order to show up and add value to the world, right? So I created and have this 9-part life framework that I've used in my life since the early 1980s, I think. I learned it from Jim Rohn and Tony Robbins back in the day, and it was a 7-part life framework. And then along came a little thing called the pandemic. And the pandemic blew up a lot of our lives, right? I can't think of anything else in my lifetime that has happened that has impacted more people than the global pandemic. It literally impacted billions of people's lives on this planet. And some in a positive way, some in a negative way. I know hundreds and hundreds of business owners that were wiped out during the pandemic and the shutdowns and the things that were a part of that or were directly related to that. I also know hundreds of people that thrived and absolutely exploded their businesses during that time period. And that's what happens in the world. Events and things happen, and it's how we respond to it and what we do that determines whether we survive or whether we let something go. And sometimes we just have to let something go and do the next things for us. So one of the things I like to do is rate at the beginning of the year, and we did it at day 2 or 3, I suppose. How are we feeling? Overarchingly, how do we think? How do we feel? How does our intuition say we're doing on a scale of 1 to 10 in each of these different areas and aspects of our life and on the life framework? So we do a beginning snapshot, and then we do a toward the end of the year snapshot. Why do we do that? So we can see how much we've grown or how much we've maybe shrunk or not paid attention to a certain area or aspect of our life. If you would have asked me a couple of decades ago to rate any of these, I would have been in big trouble. I would have had high scores in financial, the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, and relationships. I was tanked. I mean, I was maybe at a 1 or a 2. And I have found that for me personally, if I drop below a 5 in any one of these areas, that means I need to pay attention to it. And so today, all we're going to do, scale of 1 to 10, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, relationships, contribution, confidence, and communication. I added communication and confidence during the pandemic. I took a couple of years of coaching and mentorship in those. Those were just 2 of the areas. We did some of these other areas as well. But since I already had those, I just added communication and confidence to my life framework. And now I set lifelong legacy goals in those 2 areas, as well as the other 7 that I originally have been using. So we rate those 1 to 10, and then we see, and I will be perfectly honest, I get surprised every year when I do the beginning to the end and then compare. And then what I love about that is it reminds me it triggers a positive self-reflection exercise to say, okay, if I went physically from a 7 to a 5, what happened there? What's going on there? And then I usually can get to the root cause pretty quickly. And then I say, okay, well, this needs to be tweaked and put back into my daily routine, schedule it so it gets done. And all of a sudden that'll be back up to a 7 or an 8 or a 9 again. That's just a quick example. Working on and participating in a 6-month 10K a month challenge, creating a new business to do that, to participate in that challenge with one of my friends on the Skool community, Skool platform. I am building my Skool platform as part of that challenge. That's going to be what I do and create as a business for that challenge. So for the next 6 months, I would love if you would like to join me. Of course, you can join me for free about it in my Skool group. Just put yes or join in the comments below, and I will send you an invite and a link to join me in my community in the Skool platform. It's called Supersize Your Business. It's subject to change because it's in the money category, which is the biggest category on that particular platform. And I have found that I haven't talked about money yet in that group. It's everything else but the money. And usually because by the time you join my group, Supersize Your Business, you already have figured out money a little bit. Maybe got some mindset tweaks that need to happen in order to get to the next level. But you already have a business. You're in a business. You know how to make money. And it's not just about the money. It's about what's missing right now to help you get to the next level. So I personally believe every single person should have a side hustle or a business on the side. Even if you're a full-time employee, everybody should have another stream of income and another way of giving themselves that sense of security, because it is so powerful. And nothing in this world is guaranteed, right? None of our jobs were ever guaranteed. I knew that in corporate America, but I had businesses on the side all the time. And so I knew that if something happened, I still was going to be able to feed my family. All right. I digress. If I can help you in any way, hit me up and ask. My voice is obviously coming back, so I'm talking a lot. And just ask. Ask if you need anything. Otherwise, I will, of course, be with you tomorrow.